Hello and welcome to Happy You Asked, the podcast where we explore a little thing called happiness, one awkward conversation at a time. And I am Erin Claire, your short and sassy host. I'm not actually feeling that sassy. I'm just like tired right now, to be honest. What do they say? 2BH? Is that what kids say? I don't know what they say. I am joined today by Dr. Lisa Helbling Chadwick, who is the Deputy Director of the Division of Genome Sciences at the National Human, this is going to suck. I don't know any of these words. National Genome Research Institute. It's really important, y'all. The science with lab, I imagine lab coats. Anyway, she oversees a diverse portfolio of research grants, which include the development of novel approaches to Mendelian gene discovery. That sounds important. And the development of high throughput, I don't even know that word, genomic technologies related to gene expression or RNA regulation, which I have read about a little bit.
Yeah.
She also oversees the Gregor program, which I want to imagine it's like when in that story Gregor turns into a bug, but I don't think it is. Which is what is that? What is that one? I'll have to come back to it. Metamorphosis.
Oh.
Kafka. Yeah. Gregor turns into a cockroach. Which is, anyways, what it's actually doing is working to develop new approaches to identify the causal variant in rare genetic disorders like becoming cockroach, where strategies such as whole exome sequencing were not successful.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
That's all right. It's not really relevant to the topic of this podcast anyway.
Prior to this role, she was program director in the Division of Extramural Research and Training at the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences, where she was involved in the leadership of the NIH Roadmap Epigenomics Program. Yeah, good job. And the NIH 4D Nucleome Program. Lisa, I don't know what I said and I did it wrong, but I'm so thrilled to have you on this podcast. Oh, look, a real live scientist.
Right.
Real live one. Welcome.
Thank you.
Important scientist. Do you wear lab coats?
Well, no. I mean, I'm a scientist administrator now, so I haven't worn a lab coat for 17 years.
Damn, I was so long. I really, in my head, expected it to be like CSI or something, but with better lighting.
No, yeah, sorry.
More office work.
It is an office work, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right.
It's okay. So I always ask the same question of everybody first. What is your definition of happiness?
I'm glad you gave me the chance to think about this first because I had to. So I decided that, I think for me, the definition of happiness is connection and purpose. Like when I feel connected to others and I feel like I'm working towards something with a purpose, that's when I feel the most happy.
Awesome. Well, is your work right now towards a purpose?
Well, right now, I'm speaking to you strictly in my personal capacity. As a government employee, I'm actually furloughed right now. So I'm not working towards any purpose. I haven't been able to work for 3 weeks. So it's kind of a strange time for you to be talking to me about happiness. I'm not feeling a lot of connection and I'm not feeling a lot of sense of purpose at the moment.
Yeah, I imagine that would put a dent in all of that.
Yeah.
You're furloughed. When you're not furloughed, how about that?
Yeah, I mean, it is a great place to work and great things that we do. I find a lot of purpose in serving the scientific research community. What we do is give grants to people and help them do their research. And I really like being able to work with people, help them to be successful in writing grants, getting grants, and then doing the research that they need to do to make the scientific breakthroughs that we all benefit from.
Well, talk to us, lay people like myself who I may oversee programs in biotechnology, but I don't know about them. All right. So can you tell me a little bit about the work, those words I said with genomes? What does that mean?
Sure. So I have to be careful because I'm not really supposed to be doing a lot of like specific work stuff right now.
Yeah.
because of the shutdown. But I'll just tell you just generally about the kind of programs that I run. So the biggest thing that I do is lead research consortia. And right now, the research consortium that I work with is the Gregor one, which is none of those people have woken up to find that they are cockroaches. But it's a consortium of researchers at universities across the United States that are working to help make it easier for people that have rare diseases to understand the genetic basis of their rare disease. We have a lot of technologies and tools that help us do that, but they still leave a lot of people without answers. And so what we're trying to do is use new and emerging genomic technologies like DNA sequencing and things related to DNA sequencing that are not exactly that, to figure out what is causing people's rare diseases. That doesn't give them a treatment. It doesn't give them anything, but for a lot of times, even just having an answer and a diagnosis is really helpful. And then it helps people then be able to do the next steps of working towards identifying treatments.
So it's really the why something's happening, right?
Yeah.
But not necessarily the cause of the why, but here's the thing
right,
that's
exactly.
triggering.
Yeah. And what I like about it specifically is I like working with these research consortia, right? It really speaks to that connection part that I mentioned. I like bringing people together and figuring out how to get people to work together towards answering a specific problem, right? Like researchers tend to work a lot in their own individual silos. And something that I've always really enjoyed is figuring out how to bring them together, to work together, to have a unified purpose. So that's what really drew me to this kind of work.
Yeah, and that seems like it would be far more power then, and far greater potential for success is in determining, the problem, the issue.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, if you pull people together from all over, yeah, I could see how that would totally be much more empowering.
Yeah, these are hard problems, and sometimes people get real. I'm sure that in your field too, people get very invested in their single track, right? And they know everything about the thing that they know about. They don't really think a lot about adjacent fields or things that are slightly outside of what they're doing. But when you bring people together who have different perspectives, they're able to solve problems that none of them would have been able to solve on their own just because they were thinking in a very limited sort of way about it.
I like that very much. I was even within my field, and literature and English and culture, much different, but I've long been frustrated with the fact that people don't focus on solutions because they're so focused on one little
Yeah.
aspect of something that the solution's so far away. And I'm always be like, why do it then? Why not actually work towards some greater good by collaborating with people, by seeing something of a bigger picture? So I really like that that's what you do, is bring
Yeah.
those people together so they stop being myopic or navel gazing and really start looking like at solutions.
I mean, that's really common in academia, right? Like you go into that to learn how to be the expert on one very specific thing. But the way to really make a breakthrough is to bring in things that are outside of that and people who are thinking about it in a very different way than you. Um, that's how we really move forward.
Well, yeah, and I think that's something that's missing in education to some extent, is because to get that expertise, you do have to spend all that time alone working and learning and growing. But then that next step is, okay, now how do you use all you've learned to like do something good for the world?
Right.
And that step, we don't really facilitate that well in education and outside of it either, really.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I wonder if there's ways that we could take your approach and apply them more broadly, even in the student level, because that would be really good for students to work together across even universities, disciplines, all these different things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just do that. I'll get that together in my spare time. You can do that too.
Sure.
Yeah. We'll work on that together. Can you describe like a couple moments when you felt truly happy that come to mind?
Uh, I feel really happy when I'm traveling.
Mhm.
I like traveling. I like going to very different places, seeing very different things than I normally see. Uh, I I haven't gotten to travel too much in the last few years. I think the last trip I took was to London to see a friend. But I just love like being out of my element and somewhere
Mhm.
else. So that's something that I think I feel really happy doing.
Yes, and highly recommend for anybody who can to travel as much as possible. And that's becoming something that they are incorporating more and more within university experiences, like finding
Yeah,
funding for the students to do that, because we know the minute you don't know where you're from until you leave it and see it from
right.
outside, right? Then you have
Yeah.
no idea, and your mind goes, "What? What? The rest of the world's like this?" And I was just walking around thinking everybody was feeling things like I was. Yeah, and that really opens the mind so much more.
Yeah, actually, when I went to London, I was there visiting a friend of mine who is a professor. Well, she's not at Florida State anymore, but she used to be. But she was teaching in their institute in London for the summer. So yeah, there's a lot of great programs at universities to do that.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think like has your happy understanding of happiness changed over time? Do you think it's different from when you were in college or from when, you were in your 20s or whatever?
I mean, so we should talk about how we know each other.
Oh, yes.
Obviously, you're not like a big
I
like
met you
genetic
today.
like we don't like run into each other at meetings.
Yes. Lisa, or Helbling, as I call her, is my
Yeah,
sorority sister from Case Western Reserve. We went and got our bachelor's degrees together at
yeah.
wonderful Case Western. And one of the most fun, ridiculous sororities to ever, short-lived sorority
Yeah.
to exist.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm sure like, yeah, the way that the things that I felt happy about certainly change over time as I think we all get to know ourselves better over time. We all go through things that sort of change your view on things. But I think I've always been like a pretty enthusiastic and positive person, and I still am. Like I that part has not changed. I also think I've always found happiness in being with other people. Like I'm a real like if you read the textbook definition of like extrovert, like that's me. I've always really liked being around people and involved in things, and I did that in college. I've always done that through my life. So I think that part has not changed.
That is so different than I am. I'm such an introvert. I don't even know how I like did any of the things 'cause I'm that much of an introvert. I'm like, oh
Yeah,
my gosh, were there people there? Oh no, people. Oh no. But I've always liked, succeeding at things. And so I have to be around people to do that.
yeah.
That has changed over time, and I'm less interested in that's not true, Aaron. Why are you lying? You are too. Okay. I try to be less interested in like goals like that because, those are momentary. I still like them. Let's not lie.
I mean, there's a place for introverts and extroverts in every sort of thing. I feel really strongly about that. But I personally am the happiest when I'm around people. I work from home. Well, we can talk about that a little bit, I guess. I've worked remotely for 16 years.
Wow,
So
that is a long timer for remote work.
I know. I was like the OG, right?
Mhm.
So that has been harder for me as somebody who is an extrovert, because I actually do prefer to be in a place where there are people around, even if I'm not talking to them necessarily, like just having people around. And I've found that it's been really helpful for me to take time to go work in public places, like at a coffee shop, to just keep my sort of energy up uh,
Mm.
after I've been working from home a lot. Now, I don't work from home anymore because the federal government has ended all the remote work. So I have to go into an office, and it's not an office that has anything to do with my work. It's just a federal facility in town. But actually, I found that it was really was really good for my mental health to do that, because I just go in there and there's people there, and like they're talking and they're around me and I can chat with them sometimes. And yeah, so I've always been somebody that really is happiest when I'm with other people.
No, it's fascinating that you bring up the remote work because I've been doing, this hybrid position. It's my like third year of doing it.
Right.
And, as an introvert, I freaking love the pandemic for my work life. I was like, yay. But
Yeah.
for long term, it's hard. It is really isolating to do this kind of work because there's no way to make that same sense of community if you're working remote. It just can't. Your little like online meeting like things, social things are
Yeah.
not the same.
You, I don't agree with that, but I think that you have to really make a concerted effort to do it.
Yeah.
And so I have always done that, but like it really does require like time and effort to make connections, to um, sort of recapitulate the kind of just, I guess people call that cooler talk, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't
Yeah.
have a water cooler, right? But you can do it, but it's definitely difficult, and it's not everybody's going to be successful at that, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. But at the same time, when I go in, because I most weeks go in twice a week into Boston, I do like being with people, but getting there and back, not in Boston, it's a freaking nightmare. So, I mean, there are trade-offs, right?
Yeah, you take
Uh,
the train. Is that what you do?
yeah, but keep in mind that that sounds nice, but the train doesn't have Wi-Fi, and most of Boston, the Wi-Fi is really bad in Boston because people don't want cell towers. So it goes in, so you can't work on the train.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. I
not anything that requires
actually,
internet.
so I've never, I mean, it's been a long time since I've commuted too, right?
Hmm.
And I actually uh, found that I kind of liked commuting, because I also like really like listening to music, and
Oh,
I just like
yeah.
sit in my car and listen to music, and I don't get too bothered by,
Oh, it depends how long it is. Mine's 2 hours, 15 minutes one
okay,
way.
that's a long time. Yeah.
And that's Boston type of, that's just a scenario. So yeah, like a commute that's under an hour, it doesn't have to be bad necessarily,
Yeah.
especially if you can have time to listen to music, listen to audiobooks and podcasts. There's actually ways to make it really kind of cool and get where you get rid of your stress. 2.5 hours though can just go straight to hell.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah. I'd probably get tired of that too.
I know it's too much, but that you're right though. When I go in there, I feel different. It's more exhausting for me as an introvert, but it is nice to sort of, oh, there's humans walking about humaning. Look at them
Yeah.
and see the different experiences they're having.
Yeah.
And I can say, there's a question: has happiness changed over time? You are exactly the same as you were in college to me. Just like the same personality, same energy, and now you just do this,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is really cool. It's cool to
That's
know
good.
people that long and see them and be like, they're just the same.
That makes me feel good.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm pretty sure I was only like 20 a few years ago, right?
exactly. I
Right.
have no idea. Like, I still get shocked when I'm like, I am how old?
I know.
What?
Really,
When?
don't think about it too hard. Just uh
Right? In my head, I don't feel that age. I don't.
Yeah.
In your head, how old do you feel in your head?
Uh, w- I mean, I feel like maybe 30,
That's a good age.
30, maybe, no, maybe not 30, maybe like 40, but I definitely don't feel 50, which is what I am.
No,
Uh,
you're not. That's impossible.
yeah, no, I agree. It is impossible. I definitely don't feel that old. So, although, your perception of age really changes over time. Like at 30, I probably thought that people that were 50 were total geezers. And now that I am 50, I realize that I was wrong.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy how time works that way. I mean, in my head, I am less mature than you are. I'm like 15 typically, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. That's me all the time. Like, how
Yeah,
did I get here? Like, how?
yeah,
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm 15. Who put me in charge? I mean, that's what it feels like inside. And
yeah,
time goes by like so quickly. It's so slow the way it goes by when you're younger, and then the older you get, the more it's like, whoosh,
yeah,
that was a decade. How?
yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking when I turned 50 in April, and I mean, I genuinely feel like my 40th birthday was a few years ago. Like it doesn't like a decade is a long time.
Yeah.
And it really does not feel like it has been that long. Things go really fast. But I remember being younger and feeling like it everything went so slow. It was so long before I was going to be a grown up. Like or through school or through college or whatever. And
Well,
now
yeah, the difference between age 10 and age 20, which is just a decade,
right,
huge,
exactly.
like massive, astronomical.
Yeah,
40 and 50, whatever, it's the same
yeah.
thing, right? Yeah, it is crazy. Do you think, we talked about you're a positive person, but what role then do you think like suffering or hardship plays in a life or in the experience of happiness?
Um yeah, I mean, I think I'm not sure if this is going to answer exactly your question, but this is sort of how I
Roll with it. We just
thought
roll
about
that, roll with it.
that.
Yeah.
So, my brother died 20 years ago. It'll be 20 years ago next month.
Mm.
Um, and so that's probably the hardest thing that I've ever gone through in my life. And of course, in the sort of immediate aftermath of it, right? Like you're there's no happiness. Also, I felt like I was never going to be happy again. I felt like I was never going to be happy again. I when you're that age and something like that happens, so I was 30. None of my friends had ever had even a parent die, really. So no one really had a lot of experience with it. Um, a lot of people, when they're inexperienced with people who are grieving, they don't know what to say, so they say nothing, or they just kind of leave, right? And so I went through a real hard time where I felt like I wasn't happy, and when I wasn't happy, I didn't bring any value to anybody, and I never was going to again, right?
Mm.
Um, and over time, you start to regain your sense of self a little bit. But something that I did that I felt was really helpful to me too is sort of I try to take all of these experiences. Oh, great! Here my cat is going to come now. Um, to take these experiences and hang on one second. Let me put the cat out of the room. Hang on.
No problem. Hey, that's what we do when we're online is they're kitties.
Yeah. That
Exactly.
cat is the most insistent cat. So She's
Oh
just
no, I have one of those too. That she's like, I told
yeah,
you.
I'm coming up there. Okay, so I really like tried to turn that into something good, and something that I found myself doing afterwards was trying to connect with other people who had experienced a similar loss. It was kind of, I'm sure people thought I was totally unhinged for a while, but I remember like talking to people, like I would be talking to our friends of ours from college or people that I just met on something, and they would say, "Oh, I have this acquaintance or a friend whose sibling just died," and I would be like, "Oh, why don't you put me in touch with them?" And I would talk to people and sort of help them understand, feel less alone in it, and
Mm.
sort of building all those connections with people. Uh, it made me feel a lot better about it, right? Helped me sort of see a purpose in the thing that was the worst thing that happened in my life, but I was able to turn it into something that sort of gave it meaning for me, I guess, and helped me feel a lot better about it.
Well, that does connect back to your own definition of happiness, what
Right,
community and purpose. And there's two things there that even though that doesn't make the suffering go away, it
right.
at least provides those pieces that you need to feel content and okay with life.
Yeah. And it was really meaningful to me to talk to other people who were feeling the way that I had felt, where I was like, no one understands me. No one understands what this is like. And just to let people know that there were other people that had seen the same, had been through the same thing, and like
Mm.
and that you could come out on the other side okay. That was really great. That really made me feel good. So
Good. Well, and grief is such a difficult, I mean, it's difficult in so many ways, but it shapes us as people. Because it necessarily does. When you have major grief, it will change your expression in some ways of who you are.
yeah,
And then you live with carrying that for the rest of your life. That's part of who you
right,
are then, and you
right,
navigate that. And it seems to me, at least from observation, this is like zero testing on this, that the people who can then find purpose while they carry that grief do better than those who just feel the grief and nothing else.
yeah,
Right. So the grief doesn't leave, but
right,
they can put other things with it. Right.
right.
And those that just are invested in feeling the grief and nothing else have a much harder time. At least that's just my experience from watching other people.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I just think, just in general, like everything that happens to you changes you in some way, and you can that just makes you who you are, right?
Hmm.
um None of those things are necessarily bad changes or good changes, but they are changes. That's just what you are now, right?
Mm.
And you've got to take from that what you can and move forward in a new way. And that
Yeah.
can be hard, but
Oh yeah, no one's saying it's easy. That's hard as hell. Do any of that.
yeah,
Sucks. I don't want it for anybody. But that's what it's like to live a life.
right, right.
There's gonna be shitty things. Some people get dealt more shitty things than others, but there's gonna
Yeah.
be shitty
And
things
none
for
of
all
us
of us.
ever know what the shitty thing is going to be, right?
No, not up to us, and most of it is not in many ways, and we
Right,
cope.
right.
Do you think that our society, at least society in the US as a whole, has a healthy relationship with the idea of happiness?
Uh, I don't know that I've ever thought about that.
That's crazy. I think about that all the time. It's like how I never thought about jeans.
Well, okay, what do you think about it? And then maybe I'll just react to what you say.
I would say no, because they're typically they're looking for as a culture, not individuals, in the wrong places. They're usually looking for it in like a monetary or external type of validation of
Yeah.
happiness.
Yeah, I see that. I think like social media, right? Like
Mhm.
that can be a place where people are seeking too much external validation. Although I have to say, like, I don't want to blame like social media for everything. I think that there's always been ways where people can seek primarily external validation. And so that's, I guess, the distinction is like, are we seeking happiness and feeling validation internally, or are we looking for everybody else to tell us that we're good enough and we're, uh, you know, whatever we've hit?
I like that view of social media though, because it didn't create a problem that didn't already exist. It was
It
just,
just put it in your pocket,
yeah,
right?
it,
Like
it
that's
just
all
gave
it
you more
did,
access
right?
to
Yeah,
the people doing that. Because yeah, I mean, think like, let's go back to the 80s. I mean, it wasn't a whole lot different. There were people who needed that external validation to show off all over the place before
yeah,
social media. They
right.
were equally as annoying,
They
but
were.
they just weren't in our pocket as much. And we could like get away from them in the mall or wherever,
Yeah,
but yeah, you're right. That's exactly the same. I hadn't thought about it that way. Like we could look at the same type of external validation mechanisms.
yeah,
And social media also has things that aren't like that, that do increase community, that also just can let go of stress sometimes too. Like I'm not on TikTok a lot, but I have it curated so that when I need it, it will make me laugh. Right? It will be
yeah,
like puppies and things like that.
right.
Nothing.
Yeah, you're not just actually. I never use TikTok, but like you're not just getting like perimenopause content. I mean, that's
No, no, the
I feel like
seriously
my
though, yeah.
phone has figured out how old
Creepy,
I
right?
am,
Yeah. It
and it
knows
wants
exactly
me
what
to
I
see
do.
everything.
It's like hot flashes. Why, yes.
Yeah, you should be eating a lot of protein and
And,
lifting
and
weights, and
yeah, exactly. Like, stop telling me what to do. I'm
yeah,
tired.
you're not my mom.
I'm a grown ass woman, phone.
Yeah, yeah, but I know it's definitely hard. Like I've got two teenage children, and I would say actually neither one of them really would I say has a problem with like social media or you know I think that they're both really like great kids, really like grounded, um and have their own like deep sense of like self and self-worth and stuff. But I just see like just hearing even the discussions, like what it's like for teenagers now, um, having everybody on social media and like really feeling like if so and so didn't like your post or you see somebody out with somebody else and you're not there and how they take that all in and like give themselves sort of messages about how happy they should be, how worthy they are. It's a little bit different for sure.
Yeah, and it is. I mean, think about again, like the 80s and 90s, whether or not you got invited to a party
Right.
or to
That's
this
still
or that.
her. But you didn't have to look at all the pictures of everybody else at the party, right?
Right?
In
And
real
then they're in
time.
like all these different chats and Discord servers and
Yeah.
who's in and who's out. And I'm just like, that sounds really tiring. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't want that. Same, I mean, same with my kids. They haven't they that didn't seem to be like an issue where it would harm them internally, but I'd be like, I don't want to live in
Yeah.
that space. So yeah, now what about when when you do feel unhappy or get the grumps, do you have any practices that you do to help?
Well,
Drinking and no.
I mean, no. So I mean, one thing I do is like I go out, right? I do like to when I'm like calling a friend and going out for a drink or going out for a walk or something or having a FaceTime or whatever. That's like number one.
Hmm.
Number two, well, like I do think that like exercise is definitely something that contributes to my mood, but I'm like a first thing in the morning workout person. I don't really do it outside of that. So that's not something that I like use in the moment when I'm not feeling myself. But like if I go through a period where I'm not working out regularly, then, that definitely isn't great. And then I also like to listen to music. And I'm like the kind of person who will like I'll just listen to the same song like over and over and over again and just sort of zone out to something that is uh that can make me feel a little bit better. So
I do the same thing. If a song I hear is really hitting a vibe with me,
yeah,
I'm like, I'll dig into that song. No one else is going to hear because they don't want to hear me listen to that song 20 times. No one
I
does but me.
know, but I totally can. I know.
Like I am inside the song now. I am living it for
Yeah.
this, couple hours.
Right.
Just let me be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I really like music uh and just using that to sort of calm.
You now I like concerts. You're not a concert goer though, a big one, are you?
I am. I'm just too old.
Well, they're
It's
so
not
late. Why are
a
they so late?
concert. If they would end at 10 and I could drive,
Preach.
like, I'm just like, I can't, they start at like, I
The headliner comes out 9:30. What's
can't
the
I can't do that. No, I do like concerts. My daughter actually really loves music and likes going to concerts. So she and I have gone to a few. I actually was supposed to be in Boston last week, but because of the shutdown, I wasn't allowed to travel. But I had hoped to go to a concert when I was there. So yeah,
who was it?
I do. I'm
Who
just
were you
like,
gonna go? Was it
oh,
Violent Femmes or in town?
the Violent Femmes? Oh, we saw them actually a couple months ago here in Tallahassee. It was good. That was great. That was actually a great show. But it ended at like 10 o'clock. It was great.
Perfect.
I know. No, it was Granddaddy. I
I know
yeah,
Granddaddy.
yeah. They're not like a super popular band, but like anyway, they were playing in Boston last Tuesday, I think, and I was hoping to go to that, but
And I hear you so much. There's so many concerts I want to go to, but I'm like, I won't get home till like 11:30. And do I have that in me? Right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, where I live right now, we just don't get a lot here, and like going to a concert requires traveling. Uh,
Yeah.
so I just
And
don't.
Boston is amazing for concerts.
Yeah,
There is one venue I discovered in the summer, only in summer. But because of the laws there, because it's more rural, they have to end by 10, which means they
yeah.
start at like 6. And I'm like, yay, this is for me. I saw
I
Ani
know.
DeFranco there last past summer, and it was one of the best things. I was home by like 10:30, happy as could be.
Yeah. No,
Mm.
I totally agree. So, and I feel like all the people that I like, because of, I don't know if you've had the same experience, but like my music taste has not really changed a lot. Like I still listen to a lot of the same things that I listened to in college and in my young adulthood. And like I new things come in, but but I feel like all these people are they're as old as me. Like, don't they want to go to bed?
Well, even the people I like that are new, they're all like older people like them. you
Yeah.
know, and so yes, I'm like, we're all tired. Why can't we just Charlotte? Let's stop pretending. You get even more people.
Yeah. Actually, my
Mhm.
daughter and I went to see Claro in Washington D.C. a couple earlier this year, and that was such a great show. It ended early, like not like early, but like at probably around 10:30 or something. I don't remember. Uh, and she's real chill, like, and people were sitting and they were staying in their seats, and I was like, this is amazing. I can just sit here and like be in this vibe, and like I can see, and I don't have to,
No, the
I don't have to
seeing's a big
my
thing.
feet hurt all the time. Like, and
Best
it's
concert.
10:30.
Woo.
I know, it was great. So yeah.
Yeah. But those types of experiences though of what I like, even though I'm an introvert, is I really still though love being in the energy of a concert. Like
Yeah.
when it's good energy, Boston's usually got great concert crowds, though when everybody's like they're just feeling happy and they're singing. And
Yeah.
that feeds me and sort of, nourishes me when I'm a grump. Because I'm like, look at all these happy people. Everybody's
Yeah.
happy as hell. And then that makes me happy to see them all happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We have already talked for quite a while, so we're getting to the final two questions.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I know, right? One is, do you have any final thoughts or that you'd like to give the world or advice about happiness? Your final thoughts or advice about happiness?
I mean, I guess it's just uh really to figure out what it is that makes you individually happy, right? Like, I've been talking to some of my friends from work, actually, this today, about, morale. It hasn't been like the greatest time to be in civil service, and morale's kind of low. And how are we going to get everybody through that, and pick everything up and like keep moving forward to do what we do? And we were talking about um, really like trying to understand or talk to people about what it is that makes them happy individually, because like what makes me happy about going to work and the kind of work that we do, the environment that we're in, is not the same as what makes some of my colleagues happy. And if I am trying to solve problems in a way that works for me, it's not necessarily going to work for them. So I think really thinking about like what it is that really gets you out of bed in the morning individually, what is the thing that makes you happy? And then going after that.
Yeah, that's excellent advice because if we chase somebody else's dreams, we're just going to be miserable.
Right.
Yeah, and it's really is that's our project is learning about ourselves while we're here on Earth and really knowing what makes us tick so that we can contribute in some way to
Right.
the betterment of the world. Be it through those words that you use to help cure diseases or whatever it is that I do that I'm not even really sure what it
Mhm.
is I do, but I do it well.
Right.
That's that's right.
And you
A-
find meaning and purpose in it. So,
That 100%. And if I tried to explain, Aaron, what's your job? I'd be like, oh God. And then it would take too long, so I won't.
yeah.
Um, last thing is a song to add to the playlist.
Yeah, I really had a hard time with this.
This is actually the hardest question for everybody. They're like, damn you, Aaron, for even asking me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad you gave me a heads up about it. I realized like I said, I do like music a lot, and I do use music to like modulate my mood, right? And when sometimes you don't want to be happy. Sometimes you do want to like stew in your feelings, and I've got songs for that, and I've got songs for like when I need to feel pepped up a little bit. So I started to like go through my phone and see like what songs I might pick. And I realized that like a lot of the music that I go to when I need to be happy, it's because the music itself makes me feel that way. But like then I was like looking at some of the lyrics, and I was like, this is not happy at all. This is not at all uplifting. This is maybe that's not what I should pick. So so I came up with a Pavement song, "Harness Your Hopes."
Okay.
The
I don't
reason
know
I
that.
picked that one is I so my daughter likes music. she's 15, but she's got excellent taste in music, really diverse taste in music. And she's introduced me to a lot of stuff, but I have always tried to introduce her to bands that I like. And I always like Pavement. I like Stephen Malkmus, who's the singer of Pavement's solo work and everything. And that's like one of the things that I had tried to get her to listen to, and she never did. But she makes playlists all the time, and she plays them in the car every time we're in the car. And one time we were sitting in the car, and like this song came on, and I was like, I could not, like, I could not conceal my excitement. I was like, did you put Pavement on this playlist? It was like, it made me so happy. But it's also a great song. It's like one of the ones that one of the songs I can listen to on repeat like 80 times in a row.
I love that. Yeah, my 16-year-old son Moss was listening the other day just on the Alexa to Tribe Called Quest, and I swear I know I
I
nearly exploded into like rainbows. I was like, oh.
I know. I actually almost picked another song, not a Tribe Called Quest song, but with Q-Tip that I like. So yeah, so that's what I picked.
I love it. Well, I can't thank you enough, Lisa, for being here and talking with me. And I hope the furlough ends soon and you're back to work. But thank you for the work that you're doing. It is so important. It matters, and I can't do it. Can't even begin. So I'm so glad that you can do it
Great.
on behalf of all of us. So thank you.
Okay, it was good to talk to you.
All right. Bye, everyone.